Imagine you're standing on the edge of a battlefield, facing all the forces that wish to see you fall: evil, envy, and every negative energy that's been directed at you. Now, what if I told you that there's a prayer so powerful, so transformative, that it can annihilate every attack against you and leave nothing but divine protection in its wake? Psalm 70 is exactly that prayer. It's a call to God to rise up and destroy every evil intention aimed at you. But here's the twist. It's not just about seeking protection. It's about activating a force so mighty that even the strongest negativity must bow before it. Are you ready to tap into this power? Pray now and watch as God wipes out all that stands in your way. When you say the words of Psalm 70, you're not simply repeating ancient scripture. You're engaging in a direct plea to God, asking for divine intervention against all forces that threaten your peace. It's as though you're standing before a powerful force that can shield you from negativity. The psalm calls for protection from spiritual attacks, reminding you that the angels are always by your side, ready to shield you from harm. When the storms of life are howling, this prayer is a safe harbor, reminding you that divine protection is real and within your grasp. Many of us face invisible battles, whether it's envy from others, people who don't wish us well, or even attacks that seem to come out of nowhere. The prayer asks for God's hand to be upon us, ensuring that we remain untouched by the malice of others. It's like calling on a force that has the power to break down the barriers of negativity. Have you ever had a moment when things just seemed to fall into place, where you suddenly felt safe and calm despite the chaos around you? That's divine intervention in action. In life, we often forget how crucial it is to have a connection with the divine, to acknowledge the power that the Bible reveals to us. Praying Psalm 70 isn't just about words. It's about a deep, inner faith that calls on God's mighty power. Think about the last time you felt vulnerable or overwhelmed. What if you could tap into this divine protection with just a prayer? It's not magic. It's faith in action, and the angels are there, waiting for you to speak your truth and claim the protection you deserve. Engaging with the prayer isn't just about reciting words. It's about activating your faith in a way that can truly transform your life. When you're invited to write a phrase of faith in the comments, it's more than just a call to interact. It's a declaration that you're ready to receive the power of this prayer. Think of it as an open door to invite God's presence into your life. The act of writing it down isn't just for the algorithm. It's for your spirit, a way to affirm your belief and readiness for change. By taking a step to declare your faith publicly, you're taking ownership of the power that prayer can bring. It's like making a promise to yourself and to God that you are open to divine intervention. The Bible is filled with moments where people acted boldly on their faith, and in doing so, they opened the door to miracles. You're no different. Writing that phrase of faith is your own declaration that you are not passive in your spiritual journey, but an active participant in the unfolding of God's will. This active engagement creates a ripple effect. Just as a single prayer can change the course of your day, a single declaration of faith can spark transformation. Every time you post that phrase, you're not just sharing with the world, you're reinforcing your trust in God's plan. It's a personal commitment, and it makes your faith visible. This simple act is a profound way to invite the angels to work on your behalf, and it shows God that you're ready to receive the abundance and protection He's promised. In this powerful prayer, you're asking God for justice, not just for yourself, but for everyone who faces the weight of negativity and opposition. It's as though you're calling on a mighty force to break the chains of harmful words, those whispers of doubt and criticism that hold you back. The prayer is a request for God's justice to cleanse your life of the obstacles your enemies have placed in your path. This is more than asking for protection. It's about clearing your spiritual space so you can walk freely, unburdened by the malice that tries to cloud your way. Consider the power of words. They can build you up or tear you down. The psalm calls for the silencing of harmful words, the kind that leave scars even when they're not spoken out loud. God's justice moves swiftly, shattering these chains of negativity and clearing away the lies that others might speak over your life. This isn't just a prayer for protection, but one for divine retribution, where the negativity of others is reversed and God's truth reigns. When you pray for God's justice, you're inviting divine clarity. It's like shining a bright light into a dark room, exposing the lies and injustices that have been lurking in the shadows. Imagine that every time someone tries to stand in your way, God steps in to break down those walls. It's not just about getting rid of the obstacles. It's about setting things right, according to divine will. The power of this prayer aligns you with God's justice, allowing His truth to cut through the lies of the enemy and restore order to your life. This part of the prayer is incredibly powerful. It's a call for God's intervention against anyone whose intentions are rooted in harm. You're asking for divine retribution, that those who wish ill upon you will see their negative actions return sevenfold. This isn't about revenge. It's about God's justice making things right. The Bible teaches us that vengeance belongs to God, and when you pray this prayer, you're surrendering the need to fight your battles on your own. Instead, you're inviting God to take charge and ensure that those who wish harm experience the consequences of their actions. Think about how often we feel like we need to take matters into our own hands when someone does us wrong. But this prayer flips that script. It reminds us that God is the ultimate judge, and when we call upon His intervention, He'll handle the situation in a way that far exceeds our expectations. The sevenfold return symbolizes a restoration far greater than what was taken from us, an overflow of blessings that can't be contained. God's intervention is always more than enough. This powerful plea also serves as a reminder that no evil goes unnoticed by God. When someone tries to harm you or undermine your efforts, they aren't just going against you. They're going against God's will. This prayer ensures that no weapon formed against you will prosper. By asking for divine justice in the form of a sevenfold return, you're aligning yourself with the protection of the Almighty. Every time someone attempts to bring you down, God's justice lifts you higher, turning the enemy's schemes into a testimony of His greatness. When you pray for God's protection, you are affirming your trust in a power greater than yourself. It's like saying, I believe that God's light can pierce through any darkness, no matter how strong or relentless it may seem. This prayer asks for more than just physical safety. It's a plea for the breaking of spiritual chains, those unseen forces that try to bind your soul, your spirit, and your purpose. These chains could be negative habits, fears, or even past traumas that keep you stuck in a cycle of defeat. By praying this, you are inviting God's divine protection to break every chain that holds you back. Trusting in God's protection is an act of faith, where you acknowledge that no evil force, whether seen or unseen, has the power to keep you from the purpose God has set for your life. Think about a time when you faced uncertainty or felt surrounded by negative influences. In those moments, what if you knew that God's light was powerful enough to push through the darkness? This prayer asks for that exact intervention. God's light breaking through all malice and dispelling every shadow of negativity that seeks to block your path. God's protection isn't just a shield, it's a transformative force. When you invite His light into your life, it's like opening the windows to let sunlight flood into a dark room. The darkness doesn't stand a chance. The malice, envy, and negativity that once clouded your perspective are expelled, replaced by clarity, peace, and divine favor. Every time you pray for this light, you strengthen your spiritual resilience, knowing that no matter the challenge, God's light will always overcome the darkness. In this part of the prayer, you're asking for divine justice against the forces of falsehood, betrayal, and spiritual oppression. It's like a call to God to protect your integrity and shield you from the lies that others may speak about you. The Bible often highlights the importance of truth, and when you ask God to intervene in matters of deception, you're asking for His light to expose and crush the falsehoods that try to tarnish your reputation. Betrayal is painful, but with this prayer, you're inviting divine intervention to right the wrongs and put an end to any spiritual oppression that seeks to weigh you down. Think of times when you've been misjudged or lied about. The sting of betrayal can be unbearable, and the weight of spiritual oppression often feels suffocating. This prayer asks God to deal with those situations by using His justice to frustrate the enemy's plans. It's as though you're requesting a divine roadblock, where every effort to harm you is stopped before it can take effect. Trusting that God will not allow injustice to go unchecked frees you from the burden of retaliation or bitterness. Instead, you rely on His power to set things right. This prayer is not just about asking for the truth to come to light. It's about asking for God's intervention to make sure that those who try to oppress or deceive you will see their plans fall apart. It's an assurance that God is not blind to the injustices you face, and that He will act on your behalf. So, the next time you feel wronged, remember that you don't have to fight back on your own. God's justice will always prevail, and His divine intervention will frustrate the enemy's every move. In this prayer, There's a powerful declaration of protection, one that leaves no room for fear or uncertainty. It boldly states that through God's protection, all curses, spells, and negative forces are nullified. Imagine how liberating it is to know that whatever dark forces might have been sent your way have no power over you. By inviting God's protection into your life, you're declaring that His divine glory is the shield that surrounds you. There is no room for evil to enter, no space for negativity to take root. His glory is a powerful force, stronger than any curse or spell, ensuring that nothing can harm you. Curses and spells may seem like distant, mysterious things to some, but for many, they're real threats. Whether they're spoken words or dark intentions, they hold no power in the face of God's protection. It's like having an impenetrable force field around you. Every curse or negative force simply bounces off. When you speak this prayer, you are affirming that no spiritual weapon formed against you will prosper. This prayer is an invitation for God's glory to act as a safeguard, keeping you untouched by anything that seeks to harm you spiritually, mentally, or physically. What's incredible about this declaration is that it's not just about being protected, it's about being empowered. By acknowledging God's glory as your shield, you step into a position of strength and divine security. You are no longer at the mercy of unseen forces or the malicious actions of others. You are standing strong, surrounded by God's glory, which cannot be broken. His protection is perfect, and with it, no negative force, curse, or spell can ever touch you. As you stand in faith, equipped with the powerful prayer of Psalm 70, remember, you have the ultimate protector by your side. Every force, every word, and every negative spirit that seeks to harm you will be nullified in the face of God's divine justice. But here's the question: will you actively claim that protection? Will you declare, with confidence, that no weapon formed against you will prosper? Let this prayer be the foundation of your victory over evil and envy. Take a moment to reflect on the battles in your life, and know that God's power is greater than any enemy you face. Now, it's your turn. Apply this knowledge and watch as God moves in ways you never thought possible. Don't forget to subscribe, activate notifications, and keep learning how to transform your life through the power of prayer. Your victory is already on its way.